I've gotten a go ahead from the team. So I will start this video. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. All right. So at the outset, I would like to thank UPSC Time for giving me this platform in order to facilitate this conversation. Hello to everyone. My name is Ishwari Deka, and I have secured AIR 320 in UPSC 2023. This Okay, I'm getting a lot of messages. Okay, I hope this orientation is fine. Okay, all right. All right. So I have cleared the UPSC Civil Services examination in 2023, securing AIR 20, whereafter I was allocated the Indian Revenue Service. I will start with a brief introduction about myself. I come from. One second. Asking me to adjust the camera. All right. I hope it's fine now. Okay. All right. All right. Yes. Whereafter I've been allocated the Indian Revenue Service income tax. I come from a town called Tezpur in Assam, where I completed my school education, and after that I moved to Delhi to pursue my graduation in English literature from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. After that, I did my post graduation from Delhi University itself, where I started my UPSC preparation after my post graduation, and the years that followed, I'll share my journey with you. Okay, I've been getting a lot. So, am I visible and audible? Camera adjust. Okay, I'll just adjust the camera a little bit. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the team has given me a go ahead finally. I think everything is perfect now, the orientation. All right. My journey has been quite long, and I really do not believe that 4 years of struggle can be condensed into a live stream of an hour. However, I'll try my level best to do justice to this session. I was a humanities student in 11th and 12th, and thereafter also a humanities student in my graduation and post graduation. So my perspective on things will be very different. Like the things I have struggled with personally, especially CSAT, that is very different from someone, say, who comes from a science background. Okay, there's a comment there's a comment that I should tell you where I derived my motivation from. All right, growing up or even during graduation, I did not actively think about this exam. Only after my post graduation, when I sat down and I was going through all my career options, the paths that were open for me, I did a lot of introspection, and I thought that this is a path which I would like to take. And thereafter, I started my preparation. I did join a coaching very briefly, but I found that it was not for me. So, my entire preparation journey has been one of self study. I studied from home most of the time. All right. Okay, so let's get into it now. This exam, as you all know, is divided into 3 stages. However, your preparation should be quite integrated. I will start with prelims and then move on to mains and then to the interview. But in all this, you should keep in mind that nothing was separate from, not one was separate from the other. जैसे मैं प्रीलिम्स के लिए जब पढ़ रही थी उसके साथ साथ मैं मेंस के लिए भी पढ़ रही थी एंड आई वाज डूइंग थिंग्स which I felt that ultimately helped me during my interview. All right. For prelims, I started with the most basic books. You know that there is a book list. It's available online. Almost everyone studies the same book list. I started with the most fundamental NCRTs. In my first attempt, I in fact read all the 6 to 12 NCRTs, but in the subsequent attempts, I felt that only NCRTs from 9th to 12th were a little helpful. Even then, with more focus on the 11th and 12th NCRTs. So I'll discuss my book list with you subject to subject. For art and culture and ancient and medieval history, I refer to the old NCRTs of R.S. Sharma and Satish Chandra because I felt that they're very well written and they read like a story, and they helped me tremendously for mains. You can read the new NCRTs too, which are the themes in Indian history, which I had already done in class 12, but I feel that to have a more grounded narrative structure to your preparation, the old NCRTs do a better job. And to supplement the old NCRTs of R.S. Sharma and Satish Chandra, I did the Tamil Nadu class 11 history book, which everyone reads. उस बुक में जो आपका वो है साउथ इंडियन हिस्ट्री का पार्ट है, दैट इज़ गिवन मोर थरली एज कम्पेयर टू R.S. शर्मा. योर Pallavas and Cholas and Chalukyas. So I feel that that part specifically should be done from Tamil Nadu history class 11 book. Apart from that, for prelims specifically, I did Nitin Singhania because these old NCRTs do ground you in the lineage of dynasties and the chronology of things and how certain events took place. But prelims is also based on recalling a lot of facts. So Nitin Singhania is very facts heavy. It's a very dense book. So if you're not able to do it in one go, then do it part by part. Like say today you do art and architecture, tomorrow you do say the first 3 days you do architecture, you take a break, you do some other subject, then you do paintings, then you take a break, then you do religion and philosophy. Because if you it's a very bulky book, so if you sit with it for say 20 days, you might get tremendously bored with it. And yeah, so this is what I did roughly for ancient and medieval and art and culture. And keep in mind that these two topics go hand in hand with each other. Alright, so moving on, the next would be modern India. For modern India, I only and only refer to Spectrum. You can read the themes of Indian history, modern India book, which is available online. Just a rough reading, like don't make notes or anything out of it. It's a very interesting book to read. However, I did Spectrum, multiple revisions of Spectrum, and जितना भी शॉर्ट नोट्स या क्रोनोलॉजी मैं बना सकती थी, ऑलवेज कीप अ लिस्ट ऑफ गवर्नर जनरल्स बाय योर टेबल व्हाइल यू आर डूइंग हिस्ट्री, एंड कीप चेकिंग कि मैं जो पढ़ रही हूँ ये कौन से गवर्नर जनरल के टाइम पे हो रहा है. एंड देन तुम्हारे माइंड में क्रोनोलॉजी बननी चाहिए कि इसके टाइम पे, रिपन के टाइम पे ये हुआ था, अर्विन के टाइम पे ये हुआ था. तो simple stuff that is also very helpful. Then the next topic would be post-independence India. Since we are in history, we are done with ancient medieval, we are done with modern. Let's move on to post-independence. It is an often ignored subject. However, in the last couple of years, there have been a lot of questions, prelims questions on this topic. So for post-independence India, you can do the political science textbook of class 12. Yeah, the class 12 NCRT, the post-independence Indian polity, that book, and just have a look at the PYQs. Moving on, for geography, I relied solely on NCRTs, multiple revisions of class 11 and class 12 NCRTs, and if you can, then have a read of NCRTs from class 9 onwards. Also, for geography, apart from the physical geography part of it, which you will learn from NCRTs, I also did GC Leong in 2 of my attempts. I can't tell you that the input-output ratio is all that great for GC Leong, but if you do have the time, then read it alongside your NCRTs when you're reading your NCRTs. Do mapping. In geography, I think the best output comes from the hours you put into mapping. So for Indian geography, I did I think NCRTs में जो maps थे, or some watch some YouTube lecture. For the last attempt, I did Sudarshan Gurjar's mapping, world geography mapping. That was very, very helpful. Also, do not ignore world geography, also the world climatic conditions like British type climate and all those equatorial climate, the climate types. I think it's the last section of GC Leong. Do not skip that part. And that part of world geography is anyway very interesting. So that put quite a number of hours in mapping. Trust me, it will give you a very, very good output. So moving on, the next topic is polity. For polity, as you all know, Lakshmikant is the Bible. Multiple readings of Lakshmikant. I don't even remember how many times I've read that book. And I think for mains, I did do a cursory reading of Subhash Kashyap. Okay, somebody has asked me a comment. Did you read Bear Act? Yes, actually I did. Alongside Lakshmikant, like whenever I was reading a chapter from Lakshmikant, my Bear Act would be next to my in my table next to the Lakshmikant, and I would cross-check each article in the Bear Act. I don't know, the Bear Act is really small, right? So it gives you a sense of structure when you're doing polity. Lakshmikant is really bulky. So if you have the Bear Act alongside you, you can keep cross-checking the articles, and you get trained in the language of the Constitution, which is a very important skill for a bureaucrat to have. So do read all the articles from the Bear Act once. Then for polity, for prelims as well as for mains. Okay, somebody is asking me constantly कौन सी pen use की थी. For prelims, I used Uniball's Jetstream black ballpoint pen, and for mains I used Pilot V7. I don't know why this is the most popular question. All right, it really doesn't matter what pen you use, just use. Also, okay, another comment. तैयारी कब से start की थी? As I mentioned earlier, I started my preparation after my post graduation in 2021. Yes, I started in 2021. Like serious preparation, 3 years, 2021, 2022, and 2023 went into this exam. Okay, so yes, I was in polity. So Lakshmikant and Bear Act are a must read. Apart from that, for prelims current affairs, ओके अनदर कमेंट हेलो दीदी मैंने अभी आंसर राइटिंग स्टार्ट की ओके आंसर राइटिंग आई विल कम टू इट व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट मेंस let me just finish this prelims bit because I have like a list of things that like a list of questions I've been given and I need to address these first. I'll come back to answer writing. So all right, do current affairs for polity, do from vision maybe. I used to do, all right, please Hindi. I'm not very proficient in Hindi but I'll try my level best. So ओके तो मैंने विजन का मंथली कंपाइलेशंस किया था एंड फॉर ईच अटेम्प्ट मैंने आई यूज़ टू डू रेगुलर न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग एंड supplement it with vision ka monthly compilations. I know it can be very time consuming, so for prelims a lot of people do PT 365. However, I always felt that doing it at the end of the year when so many current affairs have gotten piled up is a task. So I rather did vision monthly magazines every month, and then I think in the 2 attempts that I did clear prelims I made notes out of it. कोचिंग नोट्स यूज़ करते हैं सो क्रिएट कन्फ्यूजन. ओके all right, so somebody has asked me if I took coaching and if I studied from my coaching notes. To tell you the truth, I did join coaching. I think I went about 3 months and I found it pretty substandard, and it just was not the thing for me. So I left. I left after 3 months, and I never used any coaching notes. I read the books, the NCRTs. Just make it a habit to read the real stuff and do not read summaries of the books that are available, because if you are not trained to do the hard things, if you don't train your mind to read a 100-page or a 90-page NCRT, then I think you are going down a really dark path in this exam. Do train yourself to do some basic reading. Okay, continue with current affairs monthly point. Okay, so for as I was saying, for all these subjects that I just discussed, for history and geography, they are more or less static subjects, so you don't need to do current affairs. But for polity, and particularly for international affairs component of polity, do the monthly compilations. Do not wait. I would suggest to not wait for PT 365 to come out, because तब तक बहुत बैकलॉग बन जाता है हर चीज़ का. तो माइट इज़ वेल डू थोड़ा थोड़ा every month. And moving on to economy, I am a Mrunal person through and through. I did only and only Mrunal for economy, and I learned my perspective on economy, and my fear for economy completely vanished after I started doing Mrunal, because in economy you really can't figure out how to do it yourself. Okay, so you need someone to like hold your hand and guide you through the process. I know Mrunal in the first glance might seem extremely bulky and lots of facts to memorize, more than 1,000 pages now, I think, the latest edition. But I watched all his lectures and I did multiple readings of his compilation that comes out. I found it extremely useful, not just for the exam, but to give me a more holistic view of economy topics. मैम मृणाल सर के मेंस और प्रीलिम्स के लेक्चर अलग अलग हैं. Okay, I don't know about this. I just watched lectures. Somebody gave me access to their account. So I don't think, okay, for mains, I think he does have a different series. But I did not do the mains ka series. I did only prelims. I did Mrunal for only prelims. For mains economy, my preparation was a little different. I'll come to it. I think for economy, Mrunal should suffice. Also, very important, do watch the budget speech. Read the budget, like the real thing, or the summary that comes out. The vision takes out a summary of the budget and the vision summary of the economic survey, and watch both those budget speech and economic survey speech in PIB whenever it comes. Okay, and that's about it. For economy current affairs for prelims, again the win series that Pranal sir takes out, that was extremely helpful. Moving on, science and technology, I had a very different approach. Actually, I wouldn't call it different. Like there's this institute called Level Up IAS, and there's a teacher there, Santosh sir, and he takes out very comprehensive notes of science and technology. And I found his notes very, very detailed and very well explained for a humanities student like me. And I thereafter, reading his notes, I subscribed to his lectures also, and I feel that I benefited a lot from Santosh sir's science classes. Apart from that, I think I read PT 365 for science and tech, but I don't think it was very useful for me. Science and tech ke liye I read all the NCRTs. It was very crucial. It was very important for someone like me who didn't have a background in science, because by my masters, I had forgotten whatever science I had read in school. So I started from 6th onwards, and I read all the science NCRTs up until class 12. So that was my preparation strategy for science and tech. Apart from that, moving on, environment. Okay, environment ke liye what to do after Lakshmikant Paul? Okay, I just saw a question. I think for prelims, Lakshmikant would suffice. However, if you want to do, if you want to have a broader overview of polity, then before mains, I read 2-3 books by Subhash Kashyap, and that was very, very helpful. One second, I'm getting some more. Okay, all right. Yeah, sorry, there was a digression. So I'll do one thing. I'm getting a lot of comments. And I will address these at the last of the lecture. Right now, I will just go through your subjects like I have prepared, like how I prepared the whole thing. I was in environment. So for environment, I did PMF IAS ka environment and ecology wala book. Very, very nice, very, very comprehensive book, very colorful. Usually I tried to do Shankar, but their book didn't really have many pictures, or I don't know, I just didn't like it. And thereafter I took up, somebody suggested me PMF IAS ka book, and the national parks, their mapping, their chapter on species with all the animals. It makes for a very interesting read. Also for environment, do not forget to do the last 3 chapters of the class 12 biology NCRT. Those chapters are they give you the fundamental, the base for environment. Okay. Apart from that, I think we've covered almost all the topics for prelims. Apart from this, apart from the static top, okay, agriculture I did from Runal. Agriculture I did from Runal. I didn't do any other separate source. All right. Apart from these basic books that I just talked about, I did a lot of mock tests. Yes. Let's come to mocks. Okay. So I realized over multiple prelims, no, actually, I did crack GS in all my attempts. CSAT was the biggest obstruction. But let's talk about mock tests and the importance of mock tests in prelims, because they help in active recall, they help in pattern recognition, and their importance has been talked about by almost everyone. However, what you do have to overcome is your resistance towards giving mocks. Because we often feel that we've not finished our syllabus, and how do we sit and solve mocks when we don't know anything. What my suggestion to you would be that just as you read the newspaper every day and don't really like, for me personally, I read the newspaper because I like reading the newspaper. I don't really expect it to give me any dividend. So you'll have to build the same routine for mock tests. Just wake up in the morning and give a mock test from 9:30 to 11:30. Make it a habit and give as many as you possibly can. For the last 3 attempts, I gave about 70 GS mocks. Definitely more than 50, in the range of 50 to 70. And evaluate them immediately after you finish the test, because from my wait, I've gotten a comment. Okay, I'll address Om. Yes, I'll address your comment at the end of the stream. All right. So yes, where was I? Okay, mock tests. Evaluate your mock tests immediately after you finished solving them, because if you procrastinate and if you decide कि मैं ये बाद में करूँगी, इवनिंग को करूँगी, सुबह सॉल्व कर लेती हूँ, इवनिंग को इवेलुएट करूँगी, एनालाइज करूँगी, दैट वोंट हैपन, coming from my personal experience. So give 3 hours to your mocks. 1.5, like, practice to finish solving it in 1.5 hours, and for the other part of the 1.5 hours, evaluate it. And 3 नहीं, 4 hours दे दो. 2 घंटे तुम सॉल्व कर लो, 2 घंटे इवेलुएट कर लो, एंड मॉर्निंग में उतना टाइम निकालो कि मैं ये पूरा टाइम मॉक को डेडिकेट करूँगी. And apart from these mock tests, okay, now that we are done with prelims ka GS ka section, let's come to CSAT. CSAT has been the biggest obstruction for me. I managed to clear GS in 2 of my prelims where I couldn't make it through because of CSAT. And I realized that what we often do is ignore CSAT for the rest of the year, and when the prelim season comes, you're very panicky and you're like, kya karu, and it's not how maths is supposed to be done. Like, even in school days, we would practice maths the whole year, right? So make it a habit to practice CSAT every single day. Like, the day you start your GS preparation is the day you should start your CSAT preparation, ideally. And this is only from the vantage point of a humanities student. I have friends who are very good at math who do not practice CSAT at all and still go and ace the exam. However, as someone who did not have a science and maths background for the larger part of her academic life, I felt that CSAT was the biggest roadblock. So I did practice CSAT. I practiced CSAT about पूरा साल मैंने किया है. तो every evening take out 1.5 years and do practice CSAT. Shunya IAS has this lecture series where they solve the previous year's questions of the past, I think, 10 years for CSAT, topic wise. That is a useful lecture series to do. Apart from that, Vajiram has these books, these practice books they take out, where there are questions on each topics, like a worksheet kind of a thing. So you can buy those books and practice them on your own. I spoke to several people who were really good at logical reasoning and quant for CSAT, like my friends who had, say, done CAT or done exceptionally well in CSAT, and all of them told me that do not take coaching, do not learn tricks. The only way to do math or CSAT is to sit down and just practice. So just sit down every day with 10 questions, try to solve them, put a timer on, try to solve them within 5 minutes or 4 minutes, whatever each sum, then your time will gradually keep improving also. So that is the way I went about CSAT. Okay, as to which coaching institute's mocks I solved for prelims, Vision and Forum. I used to do almost every mock test, I think, of both Vision and Forum for both GS and CSAT. There might be other test series in the market now, you can do your research, but these are the test series that worked for me. Okay, book list is done, prelims is done, mock test is done. Okay. Many comments coming my way. I will address all of them. Just, okay, now let's proceed to mains, okay? All right. Like I said before, mains ka preparation is more or less integrated with prelims ka preparation. Like, apart from the topics which are exclusively in the arena of mains, for example, world history, governance, internal security. All of you know that there are certain topics we do not study for prelims. So post prelims, I remember I started with ethics because that is one paper you do not touch for the entire year for prelims especially. And apart from ethics, there was my optional subject English, which also did not have any similarity, like common ground with all the GS topics we did for prelims. So I remember the first 20 days or so I just did ethics and optional. All right. Okay. Somebody just asked me that if she's not able to understand Lakshmikant while studying. All right. So if you're not able to understand Lakshmikant, I can understand if you're coming from a completely like non-polity background. There are so many YouTube lectures nowadays which completely deconstruct Lakshmikant to the bits. Like it will take up each chapter and discuss each line of the book. So if you're finding it difficult to read it, I know it can be very dense, you can refer to those lectures. In fact, to study any of the stuff that we study now, there's so much content on YouTube to supplement all of the things we read. However, don't make it a habit to just watch video lectures, then your cognition won't develop the way it is supposed to. I know reading books and getting through books is extremely hard, it's extremely difficult, but do not make it a habit of just relying on video lectures. Your brain won't be wired the way it is supposed to be wired, and it will cost you heavily in prelims, mains, and in the interview also. Okay, where was I? Sorry, yeah, I was in mains. So for ethics, I did this. There's this John Green crash course on ethics, and I did that whole series. It's a very entertaining series. It gives you the fundamentals of ethical philosophies. Apart from that, now you have ChatGPT. You can refer to ChatGPT for your entire ethics preparation. I don't know how ethical that is, but that is one thing you can do. For me, I did a lot of answer writing. Like, I took out the previous 10 years questions on ethics, topic wise, and I tried to solve those questions either by looking at model answers or toppers answer copies. Like, I had a copy of previous year's questions and their answers on ethics, and I read and reread it in order to build my content. Apart from ethics, I had my optional English literature. So for English, I had an undergrad and postgrad in English literature, so my strategy was very, very different from someone who did not have a background. I don't think this is like, not a lot of people write English literature as their optional, therefore, it won't be very useful for me to share like a detailed strategy of my optional subject here. This is mostly confined. Ma'am, did your optional help in essay? Yes, it definitely did, because I feel a lot of themes that we study in English literature can be applied in essay. And I think you should make it a habit to quote literary anecdotes in your essay. It just makes your essay far more interesting. Okay, so I will not be discussing my English literature preparation strategy here. Moving on from ethics, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS1, GS2, GS3. So the main fundamental preparation of these subjects had already happened in prelims. I had read all my books, etc. However, to supplement them, and especially to prepare the themes that were in that were happening just before mains, themes which are usually asked in the exam, I subscribe to Dipin sir's current affairs current affairs lectures. Forumized Dipin sir. However, I would like to caution you all that those lectures are extremely long and bulky. They're very useful, but they take up a lot of your time, so you should properly evaluate what you're getting into. Do not just jump into it and take a subscription, because it will take up a bulk of your time, and you will have to revise, because it's very content heavy. You'll have to make notes, you'll have to revise, so be very careful if that is in selecting if that is what it is you want to do for your current affairs preparation for mains. Otherwise, you can just go through, I think, mains 365 or all these materials that are available in the market. I didn't do anything. I just relied on my basic NCRTs and some current affairs themes which I prepared by myself. And yeah, that was my mains preparation. Again, for mains, answer writing is extremely important. Can we do it from free resources? Of course. All resources now are free. I mean, everything is available on Telegram. Again, don't know how ethical that is, but what makes GS papers of UPSC mains difficult? Most people are not able. Okay. Answer writing, definitely. Answer writing and articulation, I would say. So I feel what makes your answer writing good is clarity of thought. If you are writing answers which are very, very scattered and are not, they don't have cohesion, they don't really have any structure. It just shows that you have a scattered mind, that you do not have clarity of thought in your mind. So you have to make sure that your answers are very lucid. Keep in mind that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. You do not have to quote very intellectual stuff. You don't have to quote very learned people, or you don't have to write very data heavy answers. It's just your clarity of thought should shine through in your papers. All right, so we are done. Okay, GS1, GS2, GS3. Whatever topics are not covered in prelims, do study them, like governance, internal security, make notes. Enough material is available in the market. Just buy any book, any. I don't know. I used Vajiram's yellow books for internal security and all. Okay, mocks for mains. I wrote, I think, 2 test series. Like, एक तो solve your PYQs. That was my first go-to. Every morning I would wake up and solve PYQ, at least 10 previous years questions. And apart from that, I joined the Forum MGP, Mains Guidance Program. I think it's their mains answer writing. However, word of caution here, I never scored good marks in any of my prelims. I did quite okay in essay, I feel, but mains mocks में तो इतने गंदे number आते थे, and even in prelims mocks, I think the lowest I've scored is about 24. So they are no indicator of your preparation. They're just do not get demotivated by your mocks marks. Give them with utter nonchalance, I would say. Like, don't be serious about them. Your goal should be to go sit in your table and solve that mock in 3 hours. Like, even for mains, the goal is to check whether you're able to sit for 3 hours and write 20 questions and finish those questions in time. I'm getting a lot of comments on how to improve your vocabulary. I am a voracious reader. I have read since I was in school. So for me, it's a very, I don't know, it has not been an issue ever, vocabulary. However, if you do want to develop a vocabulary that is useful for UPSC, I would say newspapers are your go-to resource. Just read a newspaper every morning, man. Like, it's not very difficult. Take out half an hour, 40 minutes, and don't make notes out of it. Read it as a hobby. Read it as something like a morning ritual. Just wake up and sit with the newspaper in your hand, and I think that does wonders, absolute wonders for your vocabulary. All right. So we are done with mains answer writing and mains mocks. GS2, you have read your Lakshmikant. You will read your themes, like the themes, the current affairs themes that are in news, and you will consult previous year's questions, and then you'll get a vague idea of क्या आता है GS2 में, and थोड़े topics जो cover नहीं होते वो cover कर लो. And the funda is very basic, yeah. It's not you don't have to do something extremely difficult to get through. All right, just maintain discipline because the time frame is very short, right? Post prelims until leading up to mains, I think it's barely 3 months. So in those 3 months, in my first mains, I approached it with a lot of panic and anxiety. Like, for those 3 months, I was in a very bad state of mind because syllabus नहीं complete हुआ था, ये नहीं हुआ था, वो नहीं हुआ था. So approach it with a calm attitude, because you just have to milk as much productive hours as you can from those 3 months. Yeah, so maybe practice some meditation and throw away your phone. That is a very important thing to do. Also find a reliable study partner. Like, both for prelims and mains, I was studying with a friend, and both of us kept each other in check. He was like my accountability partner, and you should have someone who you can trust on completely to help you through this preparation, and you help them through too. Then moving on, mains में more than even the content, you should be able to build your stamina. So do a lot of mocks, go to your coaching institute, sit for 3 hours, give your mocks, do a simulation where you're writing, because you have to give 2 papers in a day, right? You'll have to sit and write for 6 hours. So go to like simulate that environment where you're writing for 3 hours, then you're taking a break and then writing for 3 hours again. So just write. And if you're feeling that you sit to write and then you can't really come up with content to address your answers, then just open any like topper's answer copy or any newspaper article you think is relevant, just about anything, and just sit and copy. मतलब तुम्हारा हाथ चलते रहना चाहिए. Your hand should not freeze, your vocabulary shouldn't freeze, and your stream of thought should not freeze in the exam. Okay, for essay is a very different ball game. Like in years where I thought that I did extremely well, I actually didn't do that well. In years where I thought that I did average, I got very good marks in essay. Somebody is asking how to move on from a breakup amidst preparation. All right, I will. Mental health is a very crucial aspect. I will address it in the end. I was in essay. So yeah, for essay, I think ethics the philosophies you learn in ethics help a lot. Also do that thing where go through previous year's essays and take out multiple themes, like common themes on which they keep asking essays again and again. So make good notes out of that. And now you have chat GPT, so make sure that you have content and you know how to apply that content in your essays. I used a lot of my optional, I used a lot of ethics, I used a lot of current affairs for my essay. So I think even essay preparation is more integrated. Do write essays. However, when you do give them for evaluation in these coaching centers, do not go by their word do not go by their word that your essay is good or bad. They are no judges of what you write and how you write it. Have confidence in how you write your essay, and that should do. Okay, so the next thing would be फिर मेंस के लिए choose the right pen and drink a lot of water, keep hydrated so that your stamina is high throughout the exam. So once you're done with mains, like given considering whether you clear it or not, comes up the interview. And I had a very different experience regarding my interview, where all the coaching institutes where I was going for mocks was not really giving me positive feedbacks. I am naturally quite a soft spoken person, so they would give me feedback like you should be more assertive and you should do things a certain way. And I remember having a complete like breakdown before my final interview. I'm like, I'm not good enough, and a lot of self-doubt. And then I stopped. I think I gave like 4 or 5 mocks, and I stopped entirely from giving mocks. And I thought to myself that this is who I am, and if they like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. However, my D-Day experience of the interview in Dholpur House was it had a stark difference from what I experienced in these mocks. And it was such a pleasant experience, I can't tell you. Like the panelists were so friendly, they were so warm. We had such a beautiful discussion on books and movies, and they asked me to recite a poem, they asked me to sing a song, they were interacting with me in such a lively manner for about 40 minutes, and I left the room without feeling an ounce of nervousness or tension. And it was a very beautiful experience. Say, had I not qualified also, I would have been very happy with how my interview went. And then that resulted in very high scores also, about 195. So what you have to keep in mind is that you have to let your guard down, you have to let all your inhibitions go, and you just have to trust that you do have a good personality, not like that your intention for things are good, that you have a clear conscience, and that why you have chosen this career path is very honest and rooted in pure heartedness, and I think that translates to having a good interview. All right. um, so that was my interview experience. Different people, interview is the most subjective of all the stages of preparation. And okay, now I will, I think I'm more or less done with what I have to say. Okay, there is another, I've gotten a lot of comments also regarding how one should regulate their emotions or take care of their mental health during like this preparation. And it's true that this exam takes a lot, demands a lot of you, and it's not possible to be in a very uh, balanced state of mind all the time. So uh, be it like, accept that it's a difficult process, and whenever you're feeling down, just feel that emotion, you know, do not try to resist it. Like, there's a very beautiful quote I like. It goes like, what you persist resists, what you accept dissolves. So if you're feeling low any particular day, acknowledge your emotions, that you're feeling low, feel low for a few hours, and then get back to your axis of thought. um, be very centered at all times. Maintain homeostasis. You know, in ecology we learn this topic called homeostasis, is how like living organisms need to be in that stable environmental condition for them to work to their optimum level. So try maintaining homeostasis as much as you can. For me, how I did it was a little extreme. I would not suggest anyone else to do it, but I was off all social media. I cut down my phone usage. I uninstalled even WhatsApp, I feel. And I only, for my third and fourth attempt, I think the attempts that went really well, I only spoke to my parents and like a couple of best friends I had. Like, I did not speak to anyone else. And trust me, those have been the happiest, most fulfilling years of my life, because once you clear this exam and then you get into, you know, the humdrum of the of work life, you will be consumed by your WhatsApp groups and so many people that you have to interact with. So cherish these years of self-imposed isolation. You have to isolate yourself to a very large extent, because if you're in touch with a lot of people, a lot of their thinking affects the way you think about things, because not many of us are very grounded and decisive in their approach to this exam. So interact with as few people as possible. Surround yourself with very positive people. Don't surround yourself with naysayers. And read philosophy, I would say. I read a lot of Buddhist philosophy and learned a lot from that, about the neuroscience of our brain and how one should regulate emotions, and why meditation is important. So that is a very important thing you should do. And okay, now let me move to the comments. Okay, so I've addressed the comment about mental health. Another comment I just got was whether you should read the entire spectrum or just important chapters. Read the whole book. Read the whole book cover to back, and read it multiple times. I mean, it's it's important that you read it multiple times. And all the books I have mentioned in this video, you have to read all of them multiple times, cover to back. All right. There was another comment on how to prepare DAF. Okay, so DAF is also extremely personalized, you know, like most people are mostly confused. बाकी का तो सब तुम्हारा क्या मतलब एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशंस एंड ऑल में तो तुम जो किया है तुमने वही लिखोगे. मोस्ट पीपल आर मोस्टली confused about what to write in the hobbies sections or achievement sections. It hardly matters, yeah, they don't care honestly. Like, you enter the room and in 10 seconds they can say what you're made of, like your metal. So if you lie, they'll know you're lying. I kept it simple. I like cooking, I wrote cooking. I like reading, I wrote reading. And journaling. These are three things I genuinely like, and I do it on a day-to-day basis. So I was very honest about it. Some people, a lot of people suggested that I should write very specific things. Like, for example, in reading, you know, say loves reading post-colonial literature or loves reading Indian literature in English. But I felt that was not true. Like, there was not an ounce of truth in it, because I do read a lot of different things. So I just wrote reading, and I was like, if they ask me about a book I have not read, I'll just tell them that I have not read it. Don't take itna tension for it. Ma'am, how to begin answer writing? It feels like not today, tomorrow doesn't come. Okay, I know this procrastination thing is because, see, we only procrastinate when the task before the task before us is something we perceive to be very difficult. So if you want to start answer writing, then I would suggest that you download Topper's answers copy, okay, and sit in your table in the morning for an hour or so and just copy. Don't take that tension ki I will have to come up with an answer, I will have to, you know, use my brain to write an answer, because initially तुम्हारा नहीं होगा. वो तभी होगा जब तुमने एक साल पूरा पढ़ लिया है, तुमने प्रीलिम्स क्लियर कर लिया है, फिर तुम मेंस का प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो. Towards the end of your mains preparation is when you will actually have enough content that you can write answers yourself. So leading up to that, and I don't feel there is a point in writing like I'm not saying don't write bad answers, but अगर तुमको कुछ आता ही नहीं है तो लिख के क्या फ़ायदा. तो एंड ऐसे ही बहुत हवा बना के रखा हुआ है. आई डोंट थिंक आंसर राइटिंग इज़ सच अ डिफ़िकल्ट थिंग. Just keep it simple. Wait for the day that you do complete a basic reading of all your sources, and before that, if you feel a lot of FOMO कि मैं आंसर राइटिंग नहीं कर रहा हूँ, then just download a Topper's answers copy or download model answers and start writing. Just copy. 1 घंटा बैठ के बस कॉपी कर लो, उतना ही काफ़ी है to keep you in the loop of things. ओके. PYQ कैसे एनालाइज करना चाहिए मैम? PYQ के लिए लास्ट टाइम में अब तो बहुत सारे YouTube videos है which cover like the past 30 years PYQ and all their options and everything. Just sit through one of those videos. You don't even have to do it on your own. PYQ UPSC themes कैसे repeat होती है, एग्जाम्पल देकर समझाइए. Yeah, like if you analyze, if you sit through all the PYQs, you will realize there are certain themes UPSC loves asking questions from. In geography, it will be rivers. In environment, it will be, say, national parks. And for art and culture, it will be Buddhism and Jainism. And there are aberrations, there are sometimes digressions, but more or less there are about, I think, 20-30 themes from which questions repeat every year. So just prepare those themes really well. Topper's copies कैसे analyze करना चाहिए? I don't think there is a need to analyze Topper's copies. Just go through them. Everyone has a different style of writing. you will have an individual approach to writing, which will be determined by various factors as to how much you read or what background you're from. So I don't really think it's necessary to analyze Topos copies. Just go through them for reference. All right. How to connect with you personally to ask doubts. I have a Telegram channel. I know it's like specifically for English literature students, but you can get in touch with me through that. What all? We have to read NCRT first for polity, then Lakshmikant. You can start with Lakshmikant. However, if you do not have a background in polity at all, then I would suggest that do read the class 11 and 12 NCRTs first. Just a cursory reading. It will just ground you better and help you approach Lakshmikant better. Did your optional help in essay? Of course it did. ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर कैसे बनाए मैम, एग्जाम्पल देकर समझाइए. ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर again very individualistic, very different for different people. What I used to do is start with an anecdote or a quote and then build on it and then connect my entire essay. Like the last line of each paragraph should flow into the next paragraph, and then at no point in your essay should you digress that much that you forget what it is that you started out to write. Get it? So while writing every subsequent paragraph, you'll have to keep referring to the initial quote, passage or line of thought that you set out to write in your essay. And oftentimes when we're in that flow of writing, we forget or we lose touch with what we set out to do. That is very important. What makes GS papers of UPSC mains difficult? Why toppers get such high marks whereas most people are not able to score good? Is it solely answer writing skills and practice or some other things? Yes, I think answer writing does help in, I think more than anything else, you know what? Answer writing gives you a lot of confidence, because when you repeat a task again and again, the more confident you get in doing that task. So if see, you do not have to think about why some people are scoring the way they are scoring, why certain people are scoring high marks and certain other people are not. Your main focus should be on what you are doing. So every day, if you're doing a little better than what you did the last day, that should be enough. Don't obsess over these things that much. Ma'am, English literature is static or not? Yes, English literature is very static. Like you cover it in about 3 months and you can just put it aside and then take it up again during mains. That's a good thing also, bad thing also, because it's not really related to any of the GS papers in any way, but it is also a welcome respite from the GS and other dynamic topics that are there in this exam. Ma'am, topper notes we have to use during preparation or after reading, or our own notes enough? Make your own notes. Never read someone else's notes. I don't understand how people read something which other people have written. Read your basic books and write your own notes. Don't refer to anyone else's notes. Those are their notes. They will help only them, not you. This is a completely wrong thing that people do. How can I improve my vocab? Like I talked about it earlier, you read newspapers. I think in the short term, that is what is going to help you the most. What can I do to improve my speaking? Again, if you want to particularly improve your English speaking skills, then reading, because I would otherwise suggest you to read, say, a fiction, non-fiction, or any of the books that we read, but because अभी time कम है तो अच्छे न्यूज़पेपर्स पढ़ लो, क्योंकि अभी बाकी दूसरे किताब पढ़ने का तुम्हारे पास टाइम नहीं है. Ma'am, you got really high marks in interview. Can you suggest how to score high? I've spoken about interview in detail. I think just fast, like, rewind the video and watch that segment. How much did you get in essay? I think 1 year I got about 130 and the next year I got about 125. Multi-dimensional answer कैसे लिखना चाहिए मैम? Multi-dimensional answer, okay, so this I did specifically in essay, or say, okay, even for other GS topics, go through the syllabus. And जैसे हमारा syllabus itself is very structured and divided into different topics, like this art and culture, ancient and medieval, modern India, there's society, and there's governance, there's geography, international relations, so many things. So these are the themes, and if you have this basic structure in mind ki this, these are the 10 themes, and I can write all my answers around these themes. So that is a very good thing you can do to structure your questions. मॉक इंटरव्यू और यूपीएससी इंटरव्यू में क्या डिफरेंस होता है मैम? देयर, ट्रस्ट मी, इन माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस, the mocks and the UPSC interview did not come even close, like even this close. Mocks just break you, man. Like, they ask all kinds of weird questions which are not at all related to your personality, and they will say mean things to you. And I individually had a very bad experience in mock interviews. So, but in contrast to that, my UPSC interview was phenomenal. It was just the best thing I have experienced when it comes to interviews. आपको इंटरव्यू में कैसे क्वेश्चंस पूछे थे मैम? Since I'm from Assam, and there are not many people from the Northeast who I think make it to the interview stage, so a bulk of my questions were based on topics and themes from the Northeast, and another huge chunk was based on my my optional subject, which was literature. Again, a very unique combination. And apart from that, they asked me to sing a song. I did not mention singing anywhere in my DAF, or nothing in my entire DAF pointed to any musical prowess, but I don't know why they wanted to hear me sing, and they asked me to sing, and I sang for them, and they liked it. Okay, how to maintain consistency? Yes, consistency should be the key word. Should be the key word for your preparation. Like, write it down on a piece of paper, stick it in front of your table, because intensity, the number of hours, anything else is not going to take you as far as consistency is going to take you. And consistency, people have a very different approach to what it is consistency is. For me, as I learned from my mistakes over the years, consistency doesn't mean कि तुम एक सेम टाइम पे उठ रहे हो, इतने टाइम पढ़ रहे हो, एक रूटीन को स्टिक कर रहे हो. नो, consistency is your ability to adapt to fluctuations and to change. So say today you had a certain study day, tomorrow you wake up and for some reason से लाइट चली गई है तो पूरा दिन लाइट नहीं है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है क्योंकि the conditions are not ideal you will not study that day. You will still study that day, maybe a little lesser than what you studied the last day. Say आज तुमने 8 घंटे किए थे, कल तुम 6 hours कर लोगे. But the fact is that you have to sit in your table and do that studying. And on days you are extremely low, suppose तुमको बिल्कुल भी पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है, एक YouTube लेक्चर देख लो, एक newspaper पढ़ लो, like do one small thing for even an hour that keeps you in the zone. You know, the point of this exam is to be in that zone, to surround yourself in that bubble and to not burst that bubble under any circumstance. So yeah, that is how you maintain consistency, not by following to sticking to a rigid routine, but by developing the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Ma'am, how to revise multiple times? I've seen techniques like spaced repetition but don't really know how to proceed. Yes, spaced repetition never worked out for me either. I didn't do spaced repetition. For me, I think I read the material like 1 or 2 hours. I read 1 or 2 times I read the material, and then spaced repetition. No, I didn't do spaced repetition. I did mock tests. That is a good source of revision, because if you're not someone who's very adept in active recall and spaced repetition, you can just compensate by doing as many mocks as you can. आपका ट्रेनिंग एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था मैम? आई अटेंडेड द 99th फाउंडेशन कोर्स इन लबसना. It was the experience of a lifetime. I It was nothing like I expected it to be. We would wake up every day at 5 a.m. and go walk to our PT ground called the Polo ground, which was like really far away. And then the whole day would be spent in running around, classes, interacting with people. Just a very, very enriching experience. Nothing will ever replace the memories of Labasna and Mussoorie. Why UPSC? Okay. Why UPSC? I think I should have addressed this question in the beginning of the lecture, but it's good that somebody asked this to me. Why UPSC is a question that everyone, during their preparation time mulls over. For me, it was two things. Okay, it was two-pronged. कि पहले all right, I got another comment. So first, it was the spirit of public service, which had been instilled in me by my parents. Both my parents are teachers, and all I have seen while growing up is my parents having active dedication for their duty and just deriving the joy from public service that nothing else can compensate for. And I thought that why not, pursue this path. So it was either teaching for me or the public services. I don't think. And then the other very practical and pragmatic reason also being that I was from a humanities background, so opportunities in the corporate sector were few and far between. So I felt that this is a line I can actively pursue. But nowhere was it a childhood dream or anything. It was a very pragmatic decision post my master's. Okay. What is your experience? Okay, after spending so many years, what is your experience and what would you suggest your junior or future aspirants? Everyone gets into it thinking that they'll clear it in their first attempt. Fair enough, you should think that you will clear it in your first attempt. But when the universe has different things in store for you and you keep giving the attempts and you don't keep clearing in subsequent stages, it breaks you down. It does break you down, but what keeps you going is पर्सनली फॉर मी इट वॉज अचीविंग अ सेंस ऑफ क्लोजर कि मैंने कुछ चीज़ अगर स्टार्ट की है तो मुझे ये कंप्लीट करना है. आई जस्ट have some kind of OCD. I think I just can't leave it halfway. So I had to see it to completion. And yeah, that is one thing that kept me going over these years. Because also that very fundamental core reason of why you started it in the first place. Um, and in times when that fails and you feel that you don't feel that strongly or passionately about the exam anymore, then it can be anything else. For me it was a sense of closure, to be very honest. What would your advice be to someone who doesn't have a strong support system? First of all, I feel you. You can reach out to me if you feel that you're going through a bad time at home or anything else. But you have to be your own best friend in these years of struggle. I don't think you can rely on any support system very blindly to guide you through the way. Not your, obviously, your parents, but sometimes in Indian households, I know parents don't understand where their children come from, and there are only a lucky few who have extremely understanding parents. And when your friends are also your competitors in this exam, that makes the problem like multiple times worse, because you can't even share anything with them. But like I said, you have to be your own best friend. Just practice self-compassion. Start loving yourself. Start being confident of yourself. And do practices like meditation and journaling, which ground you in a very strong I. Like, do not always seek for external support. Be your own support. All right. आंसर राइटिंग में पॉजिटिव अप्रोच कैसे रखें मैम? I think as a whole, as a bureaucrat, your approach to things to a very large extent has to be positive. You can have critical thinking capabilities, very important. You must have critical thinking capabilities, but that critical thinking must lead to a positive analysis and outcome. Like, you have to have a very problem solving kind of mindset. So whatever question is being asked, you have to look at it from the lens of a bureaucrat, or later if during your work years you were posed with similar problems, what would have been your approach to such problems? So just mostly positive. So keep a positive outlook towards problems and things, and don't let a lot of cynicism reflect in your papers. Cynicism is only good if it leads you to find a solution for that cynicism. Otherwise, it's of no use. मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि क्या क्या मिस्टेक नहीं करना चाहिए. See, this exam is a matter of trial and error, and I don't think, yes, you can learn from other people's mistakes, but you also have to leave that space for yourself to make those mistakes yourself, because there's only a limit up to which you can learn from other people's mistakes. You'll have to make these mistakes yourself in order to learn from it. क्या मिस्टेक नहीं करना चाहिए? From my personal experience, maybe don't waste a lot of time on your phone and on social media particularly, because you are going through an exam that demands a lot out of you. But and on top of that, if you are actively comparing yourself with other people and constantly in that loop of knowing what other people are doing, you will constantly be in a state of misery. So put yourself out of that misery and just isolate yourself. Ma'am, are you please give strategy for 2026? I think this is the ideal time to start for your 2026 attempt. You have enough time left, and स्ट्रैटेजी तो मैंने अभी शेयर की ही, तो थोड़ा सा अभी ऑप्शनल कर लो in the beginning, because later I think January onwards start concentrating on prelims. Till January you have the time to finish some of your mains topics and your optional, and from January onwards you can then start, थोड़ा थोड़ा धीरे धीरे ease into prelims and start giving 1-2 mocks and shift your mind towards your prelims. Is there any role of smart work in UPSC apart from hard work? Please share with instances. Honestly, I don't know. I know people say do smart work, but for me it just took a lot of hard work, a lot of trial and error. I read multiple sources. I learned that I should not read multiple sources. I learned from my mistakes, then I tried to improve on them. So I am not the best person to advise you on the role of smart work, because I clearly haven't been very smart about my preparation. Economics optional के लिए कुछ help? Sorry. I don't have a background in economics. I don't know. The only economics I did was Mrunal. What was your motivation that never let you down other than social service? See, there doesn't need to be a motivation as such. Just think of it as a full-time job you've taken up, and you have to show up in your office every single day, and a job that doesn't pay but if you put yourself through it and do it with a lot of dedication, it does have very beautiful rewards at the end of the tunnel. So for me, motivation तो बहुत पहले, मतलब मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी ख़त्म हो गया था, but I stopped relying on motivation altogether. It was more of waking up every day and doing the tasks in front of me. That's about it. मेंस टेस्ट सीरीज़ जो बेस्ट हो मेंस 2025 के लिए, आई डिड फोरम and PYQs, so that is something you can look into. Forum, PYQs, and Vision ka I didn't buy their test series, but I did solve some of their papers which are available in the market. How did you tackle with down phases and start again? Like I said, after a while it's about closure, and I felt that since I've dipped my toes into the ocean that is UPSC, I have to emerge out a victor. So everyone has down phases. What you should take care of is that those down phases are not chronic. You have the mental fortitude to get out of those down phases. How to score 400 plus in mains? I did not score 400 plus in mains, so I don't think I can help you. Please help. Only in last mains completed all papers. So, okay, Parth, just do the work that needs to be done, and stop obsessing over the outcome, because you really cannot predict if you'll get more than 400 plus in mains. All you can do is in these upcoming months, try your best to improve your writing, to finish your paper on time, to improve the content, make it a little more sophisticated, and just go through recent toppers copies and find out what they did right. And don't think too much about the marks, because in an exam as subjective as mains, there is no way you can predict what marks you're going to score. So you put in your hard work and then leave the rest up to God. Ma'am, Iris, income tax versus customs, which to fill above? I filled IT above due to personal preferences and personal interest in income tax law, and also because IT has a very, very good transfer policy and the ability to be in a certain place for a certain years. And customs, both are good actually. All the services are at par. It mostly depends on you, what you personally prefer. I wanted to learn finance and I wanted to get into all things finance, so I think Iris IT was the top choice for me. मैम फोरम MGP कॉपी कैसे इवेलुएट करते हैं? सी अगेन, I had my own share of disagreements with whoever was evaluating my copy, but since you don't really have what can I say, you don't really have very extremely qualified people checking your copies, so do give it up for evaluation, but don't take it very seriously. Have confidence in yourself that what you're writing is good, and have the ability to self evaluate कि अगर तुमने गार्बेज लिखा है, तुमको पता होना चाहिए कि तुमने गार्बेज लिखा है. Do not rely entirely on another person to tell you how you've written your answers. Ma'am, I have maths optional. Can I devote 60% of my time? I think maths optional, what I hear from many of my friends, takes up a lot of time, and it's a huge optional to cover. So, but it also has really good dividends. So I think you can devote 60% of your time. अभी आप ये कर लो up till 2026, then January onwards, then shift your axis towards prelims. Science and tech की तैयारी, I've already spoken about science and tech. If you rewind, I think you'll find the segment where I've spoken about science and tech. Ma'am, kindly tell me how to make notes and how to read books. Don't start with making notes immediately. At least do a basic reading of all the texts, and then if you feel the need to make notes, only then make notes. Do not start with making notes because it takes up a lot of your time. कि किस राह पे जाने से सक्सेस जल्दी मिलेगी, कहाँ इसमें. Okay, so UPSC Zone 25 has asked me that I must in detail share about why I took so many years and what was my experience in all these years. Honestly, how do I tell you in this short span of a time about what all I faced in these 4 years leading up to my 2023 attempt? But like I said, that there are highs, there are good days, there are bad days, there are extreme lows, and what matters is that you just keep pushing yourself and see it to completion. And if that is what you've always wanted to do, and if that is what drives you and motivates you, I will have to write a book. It's been such a long time that there is no way I can share in detail about what all I have faced. Actually, so I'm kind of getting similar comments about things I've already spoken about. So I don't think मैंने क्लास 12 रिसेंटली पास किया है. यूपीएससी की तैयारी कैसे करें? लिसन, एन्जॉय कॉलेज, डू नॉट गेट इनटू यूपीएससी राइट नाउ. you know, if you've passed class 12, you are most likely pursuing graduation now. Focus on your graduation subject these next few years. Have fun in college, make friends, it builds personality, it helps you in times of you know, distress. Don't just surround yourself with you know, do not get into that zone, that ecosystem of UPSC karna hai, UPSC karna hai just yet, because you anyway, if you think you are going to do it in the future, then give yourself some time, read good books, read the newspaper. Don't jump into it right from first year of college. That is the worst thing you can do to yourself. If you get chance to give the exam for the first time with all the accumulated learning, how will you approach the exam? Life can't be lived on the terms of what ifs and buts, but if I did have the chance to give it all over again, number one, I would focus on being consistent. Number two, I would work on emotional regulation and balance. Would I wish I learned at 23 how to manage my emotions better than you know, the things I've learned over the years. But I think I needed to go through that struggle so that I could build that mental resilience and mental fortitude. So if I did get a chance to give the exam again, I would be more consistent, I would be more emotionally balanced, and I would definitely throw my phone away from day one itself. आपका ट्रेनिंग एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था मैम? I have already spoken about my training experience in Labasna. It was just rewind the video, I think it's there, it makes no sense to talk about it again. Nick has said that your soft spoken nature feels like therapy, so calming. Thank you so much, Nick. And anything else? Thank you, Nandini. It was so nice talking to all of you. And if you have any more queries, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram. And I think we can wrap this session. Okay, more comments are coming in. Okay, मैम आप न्यूज़पेपर कैसे कंप्लीट करती थी? In the initial days of my preparation, I did try to make newspaper notes, but I found it to be very demanding and time consuming. So then I decided that my current affairs I'll study from monthly compilations, and all these coaching institutes do a far better job of compiling news than I was doing myself. So I only relegated to reading newspapers as a hobby, and I just woke up every morning and did it as a matter of habit because I love reading the newspaper. Do not put too much pressure on yourselves to remember what you think. It's more to build your cognition and to make you well versed about how to look at society. Read newspaper from that approach, like that perspective. Do not read it keeping in mind कि मुझे यहाँ से notes बनाने हैं, मुझे यहाँ से ये points extract करना है. That doesn't work. Does medium matter in preparation of UPSC? No, every year you see so many regional medium students doing extremely well. It's my personal belief that language is such a thing that if you are good in one, you're automatically good in the other. I've generally seen that if somebody who's very well versed in Hindi takes up English, it might take them time, but they will pick up English just as well. That's the thing about language. So do not obsess too much. Articulation is not a matter of speaking very good English. It's a matter of whether you are being able to convey in a very heartfelt manner what you really think about things. स्टैटिक पोर्शन को न्यूज़पेपर से कैसे लिंक करें मैम? Again, for newspaper, I'll hold my ground that you should just read it as a morning ritual, nothing more, nothing less. 1 year with dedicated prep from now, will that be enough? Yes, of course. You have more than enough time for the 2026 attempt. Useful government websites for UPSC. A lot of people consult PIB, but I never honestly had the time to consult government websites on top of all the other things that I was already doing. So no government websites for me personally. Ma'am, is the Sunday newspaper necessary? I won't say it's necessary, but I just love the Sunday newspaper segments, like the Eye that comes with Indian Express, and usually the supplementary magazines. I read them because I love reading them, not because they helped me in the exam in any way. Maybe in some subconscious level it did help me, but I don't think it's that necessary for the exam. No. Ma'am, how to overcome inertia of answer writing? Like I already mentioned some time before, that if you're feeling too lethargic to write answers, if you're procrastinating, just sit on your table, open a topper's answer copy in front of you and just copy their answer. Like, as of now, before you've even started your preparation full time, do not obsess over whether you're able to write answers or not. आप जैसे इंग्लिश के लिए क्या करूँ मैं? Reading helps. If you can, then read good literature. I don't think you'll have the time in UPSC, but I would honestly suggest that there's no short-term way to improve your English or vocabulary. Just over the years it builds up. Maps को कैसे याद करें मैम? Okay. I used to make notes for maps. I would always have my atlas with me and mark the places in my atlas, and on top of that I would like draw a rough outline of the continents and the countries and the states, and I would like make it actively write the places that I was learning, like places in news and rivers. And for rivers I would draw the river, mark the left bank tributaries, right bank tributaries. तो actively आपको करना होगा, ऐसा नहीं कि वीडियो देख लिया and आपको आ जाएगा सब कुछ. Tips for a working aspirant. I was a full-time aspirant, and so I don't know how qualified I am to answer this, but I think you will have to have some really pro time management skills. But ऐसा नहीं है कि हम full time prepare करके भी बहुत ज़्यादा hours put in कर पाते हैं, because I think productive hours are finite. So even if you're working, if you can somehow squeeze in 6 hours every day, that will be more than enough. Okay, I think that's about it, and I've addressed most of the questions. Thank you so much. It was so lovely interacting with you all. All the best for your 2026 attempts. I wish to see a lot of you clearing the line. Don't lose hope, and don't lose belief in yourself, and all the best. If you have any problems, do get in touch with me. I'll help to the best of my abilities, and see you in Labasna soon. Thank you.